You are now tuned in to the DJ Big B Show.
Hey, what's up, players? WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long, and you are kicking it with my man DJ Big B, where it's all about real talk.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, I would like to welcome you all to the second episode of the DJ Big B Show. I'm your host, DJ Big B. We have the legendary Mr. Teddy Long, WWE Hall of Famer, general manager, referee. I mean, he's done it all. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, player, and just want to say what an honor it is to be here and talk to you, Brandon. After we talked over the phone, you had me to remember that I did meet you a couple of times in Atlanta airport, and this has been 3 years ago, and so you never know. See how we've come back around, and we've had the chance to other, and I'm able to do something for you today. And you know, man, just thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah, I appreciate you. You know, it's an honor to have you on here too as well. You know what I'm saying? You know, I grew up watching you as a kid. You know, I'm a big fan of wrestling, and it's just, you know, amazing to be talking to you today. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, player. Let's get on down with it, and you know, let me know what you want to know.
Right. Here we go. So yeah, Mr. Teddy Long, you know, can you tell us, you know, what got you and what inspired you to, you know, to get into professional wrestling?
Well, just, you know, when I first started, you know, by professional wrestling, I wasn't even thinking about professional wrestling. But they were taping the Georgia Championship Wrestling show here in Atlanta at the old WTBS studios down on Techwood. And I just started going down there, you know, just taking my son down there just to watch the TV tapings in the morning, just watch the guy, you know, filming the wrestling show. So once I started going down there, I guess, you know, some type of way I ran into a wrestler, and I don't want to call people's names because I don't want nobody trying to sue me and say, no, that ain't how it happened and all that. So I ran into this wrestler saying that, you know, he had just come to Atlanta and didn't know his way around. So what I did is I told him, I said, well, you know, if you want me to show you around, you know, no problem. So I started riding with him on Saturday morning, coming down to the old TBS studio. He would pick me up, and then I'd bring him down and, you know, kind of, you know, show him around. And so by me riding with him, I was able to come and go in the back where all the wrestling was. So I started back there, you know, as I was hanging out in the back, you know, I just felt a little odd not doing nothing, you know, and so I just kind of made myself busy, you know. I just started, you know, moving things around, started running errands, you know, for the guys, like they wanted food. I would go and get food and stuff for them, and I would, you know, empty garbage cans and stuff, and just, you know, kept myself busy, you know. I just didn't want to stand around because it looked kind of funny just standing there not doing nothing and everybody staring at you. So after a while, you know, I kind of fit in, you know. They kind of trusted me and, you know, liked me, and, you know what I mean? Then nobody bothered me. So I started going to the ring, getting the jackets from the guys. When they take off their jackets or their ring gear, they would hand it to me, and I would take it back to the locker room for them. And after that, when the TV taping was over, you know, I would help clean up the studio and stuff, and, you know, just do things that I didn't have to do, but I just did it just, you know, because I was there, and I was waiting on this guy to, you know, get dressed and everything before we would leave. So I just made myself busy while we were there, while I was there. So after that, you know, I started doing that, and everybody felt comfortable with me. And so one day there was this job came up that they needed somebody to put up the ring, take the ring down. And by me, I'd been coming down every Saturday morning, and they had been seeing me. Well, they, you know, back then it was a little more kind of in-house. You know, they didn't, you know, the secrets were, you know, really kept. So they started, you know, wanted somebody to put up the ring, take the ring down, and the promoter came to me and gave me that job. So I took over that job. I started putting up the ring, taking the ring down. And then one night I brought the ring to the Cobb Civic Center in Marietta, Georgia, and I put the ring up, and around 7 o'clock, the matches were supposed to start at 8, but around 7 o'clock, everybody's supposed to be there. They didn't have no referee. The referees didn't show up. So the promoter came to me, and she told me, you know, asked me, could I referee? And I told her, well, no, I never refereed a day in my life. She said, okay, no problem, Teddy. Don't worry. The guys will take care of you. So I got in, and I refereed my first match that night. It was Black Bart and Ron Bass. It was a Texas death match. And it's death because they were bleeding all over the place. And, man, and I'm right there all in the middle of it now. So, you know, it's kind of horrifying. So from that, that's how I started refereeing, Brandon. Right there that night I had my first match. And then I continued on, and the next thing I know, they called me in. Dusty Rhodes, God rest his soul. He also gave me my first job as a referee, and after that night, I refereed that show. Maybe a week or two, maybe after that, Dusty brought me in and talked to me and told me he was going to put me on TV. So they had made me the referee for the NWA back in the day. So that's how I got that. Dusty Rhodes gave me my first job.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. That's an amazing story to hear. You know what I'm saying? Wow.
Yeah.
So, what can you tell us what was your most memorable match that you witnessed as a manager or a referee or both? What was your most, memorable matches that you witnessed?
Well, man, Brandon, I had a lot of them. Basically,
right.
I think basically the best one, was the Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat Chi-Town Heat for the world title. I think that was the best. I was a referee in that match, and to be in there with two big names like that, that really meant something. And back then, arenas were packed out, and people were really enjoying wrestling, having a great time. And to be involved with that match was certainly a highlight for me. Another, I guess probably the matches I was involved in when I started managing. When I started managing Butch Reed and Ron Simmons, they were the team called Doom. And we had great matches with the Steiners, man. They were great. The Steiner brothers, also the Road Warriors, man. We had great matches with them. Rock and Roll Express, you know what I mean? We worked with all the top names, man, and we all had great matches. And it, just a great time, back then. It's not great now, but back then it was a lot of fun, a lot of work, a lot of hustle, but you had a good time.
Right. Oh, wow. That's really amazing to hear. And then speaking of Ron Simmons, I know him really well. I want to give a quick shout out to him as well. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, I talked to him a couple of days ago, man. So
wow.
Ron is, we stay in touch all the time, man, because, a lot of times, once you leave the business, a lot of guys, they never call you and never just say, hey, man, hello, how you doing? They forget about it. So, but the people that continue to call you and talk to you after you're out of the business are the people that are your true friends.
Right.
So, I touch with each other. I stay in, Tony Atlas is another guy, that calls. I stay in touch with Tony. Another guy still loyal to is the boogeyman, Marty Rice. I talk to Marty all the time, and he's such an outstanding guy too, man. And so, like I said, the guys that stay in touch with you are your true fans, and that's you find that out once you leave the business. And Ricky Steamboat, let me bring Ricky up. I've seen him a lot on the road, but we had this thing for many, many years where every year, right at Christmas time, we make sure we wish each other a Merry Christmas. And another guy that I stay in touch with too is Terry Funk. Love Terry. And so there are some guys out there that are your true friends. And a guy like Harley Race, God rest his soul, I missed him. Had the chance to go and work for his son over at their school over in Missouri. And it was just great, man. So I remember the guys that that really took care of me as I was coming up.
Oh, wow. And that's great to hear, you know what I mean? Like you said, you don't ever forget the people who, took care of you, you see who your true friends are. And everybody listening, that's what y'all make sure y'all do. Y'all stay in touch with your true friends,
right.
The people who help you all out,
Let me put another name in there too. Larry Zbyszko. Don't let me forget about him, because if he heard this and if I didn't mention his name, he'd be out. So, let me throw Zbyszko in there.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing to hear. That's really amazing to hear, sir.
And Rock and Roll Express too. In fact, the date I'm talking to you, I just saw Robert Gibson this morning. I went to meet him. So this guy Ali, man, there's a lot of history coming.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is a lot of history. Wow. So yeah, Mr. Ted Long, next question. What was your, most memorable episode of SmackDown, when you were, general manager?
Well, I guess the most one was the night that I was made the general manager. The night that I walked out and Vince made me the general manager. That was probably something, I'll never forget. In fact, I have forgot it. That was, the highlight of my life. That's where it all really started, for my career going to the top. That night I remember very well. A lot of the great memories I love with the stuff that Vicky Guerrero and I did, when I was pushing her around in the wheelchair and she's running SmackDown, and making me do all that stuff. All that was great stuff. I missed, love that. All the stuff I did with Edge. What another great, nice guy, man. I really missed that stuff. And like I said, the stuff that I did with me and Undertaker was most memorable because it took me back. And remember, I managed the Undertaker before he was ever the Undertaker. He was in WCW as Mean Mark Callis.
Oh,
and
wow.
Then to have the opportunity to go to WWE and then look around, here I am again, involved in a major storyline with Mark was just priceless, man. And so that was really my most memorable, the stuff that I did with Undertaker.
Right. Wow. And I'm gonna tell you, that whole time, like you said, with Edge and Undertaker and SmackDown, that was like my childhood. I mean, I remember all, turning on TV, couldn't wait for Friday nights to come on. I don't know if it was Thursday or Friday nights, but I couldn't wait to turn the TV on and, watch it. I mean, that was like my childhood, that whole, that whole time.
Yeah, well, that says one thing, that we were doing our job.
Yes. Sure was. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Mr. Teddy Long, next question. What kind of words of encouragement would you give to people that would like to go down the same path as you, as you, becoming a manager or a general manager in wrestling? What would you tell them to do? Like, what kind of words of encouragement would you give them?
Well, I would say this, opportunities, the world has changed a lot and opportunities are a lot better. But now, if this is your dream and if this is what you want to do, if you want to pursue your career in professional wrestling, then, I advise you do that. Because now, and what I mean about, everything that's changed, you have opportunity now to get it, really right and not like it was back in the day when I broke into this business. You have wrestling schools here in Georgia. You've got, you want to try to get into WWE, that's NXT, you down there at the Performance Center in Orlando, you can apply to do that. But I say this, the first thing you need to do is get an education, okay? Stay in school, get an education, because you could get in this business and you could jump into the ring and you may walk in, but then you may get stretched out. And I've seen that,
right?
And I've seen that happen, you know what I mean? So I'm saying to you, make sure you got an education. Make sure you got something to fall back on, because you may get in here and decide that you don't want to do this no more. So what else are you going to do if you devoted all your life and time to this and you have nothing else to fall back on? And I've seen that happen to a lot of guys. Once they get out of this, they didn't prepare, for the day, you know what I mean? Because they're like thinking this is not going to never end. So a lot of them, are not doing good. And, because they're not making that kind of money anymore, and they didn't prepare themselves for, hey, one day I might not be doing this. So everything comes to an end. Winter changes the summer. It's just that simple. So I would say this, man, get an education first. And like I said, if you're interested, if you're in Georgia here and you want to train, I'm affiliated with a wrestling school here in Georgia. It's called Face to Face. It's located out in Morrow, Georgia. It's right near the South DeKalb Mall. But you can go to facetoface.com and get on there. The owner there is Rick Borger. And me and also another guy that comes down and trains with us is, we had Enzo Amari to come down and talk to the guys. He was in town. We also had Xavier Woods. He come by one day and talked to the guys and got in the ring and helped them out a little bit. And also we got a very good trainer down there too, Simon Sermon. A lot of guys may not know him, but he's an independent guy that's been on the independent scene for 25, 30 years, but he has been in the ring with some of the best. Because he works back at the Georgia Championship Wrestling and he worked with NWA and all that stuff. So the guy knows. He just one of those guys that never made it to the top, but he certainly knows what he's doing in that ring. And it's good to get it from him because he learned it from the best, because he worked back in the day with some of the best. So he's able to pass along that knowledge. So that's it. At facetoface.com, they can find us there. And, if you want to talk to us about training, we'll give it to you. And I'm there too, so you get a chance to talk to me. And like I said, if that's what you want to do, but anywhere you live, if there's a wrestling school near you that you can get in, then get in and then try and pursue your career.
Wow. And you all heard that. Everybody listening, you all heard the words that Mr. Theodore Long just told you all. You all take those words in and, use them. You all make sure, if you're trying to get into wrestling, if you're in Atlanta or, check out this school, face-to-face wrestling, just at face-to-facewrestling.com. And, thank you for those words of encouragement, Mr. Taylor Long,
Well, Brandon, thank you very much. And I want to let everybody know, man, that I'm really proud for you, man. You've come a long way, and you're certainly doing, a lot of positive things with your life. And I just want to say God bless you, man, and you keep me in your prayer. Thank you so much for thinking about me, and I'm just glad to do this for you.
Oh, thank you so much. I really, like I said, I appreciate you doing it. I appreciate you putting this together. It's an honor, big fan. And you all, like you say, make sure you all take what Mr. Taylor Long told you all, and I'll take those words of encouragement. And we want to thank him so much for being on the second episode of the DJ Big B show. Thank you so much, Mr. Taylor Long.
Thank you, player.
You are now tuned in to the DJ Big B show.
Make sure you log on to djbigb.com.